Hi, we're Midgard Lobster, and we have a question. How many fish would it take to change a light bulb?
That's actually an excellent question, because I think they could accomplish it if there were many enough, and of course the light bulb would have to be underwater. But like, are you meaning we have the fish somehow do it willingly, or
Well,
just wait for him to accidentally do it?
that waiting for them accidentally to do it seems kind of like the whole chimps and Shakespeare thing,
Yeah,
like
yeah, it does.
monkeys and typewriters. Right. Last episode we talked to the horrible man.
Yes. And we
And
talked to
that
her
woman.
too. She's all like, hey, buy my snake oil, it's good for your health. And I'm like, no, snake venom is good for your health. Just take a little bit of it intravenously at a time and you'll become immune to snakes. It's exactly how it works.
No comment.
I love, though, that they're like, this is a thing people have been doing for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
But did you know if you stop taking it every once in a while, you stop being immune to snakes?
I didn't. So they like have to have a snake and venom them every once in a while.
Yep. Oh, and you can still overdose on it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's more of a tolerance than anything else.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way this week,
Guys
Joe?
getting shook down.
Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another.
Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake.
I'd prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett.
Dude, if you think about it, mental health care, or just healthcare in general, is essentially a protection racket against yourself.
Please, take a browse of my wares.
I'm Dr. Reed.
Did he just ask me to fondle his balls?
Yes.
Doctor?
No, browse them, like, flip through them.
Barrett Lewis.
Oh, I see.
Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Alright then, let me interrogate you.
How is business around here?
Business?
Love that we
I'm
walk
at
around
business.
doing that.
Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Why though?
As a merchant, you see
That's a
Whitechapel
good question.
every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Why would there be a sign of the bottom in a bottomless pit? Unless he's complaining about a lack of women.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
That guy obviously ignored Leonidas though. It isn't madness, it's
Have you
Sparta.
No, but that's only
Dude,
because
that movie
I
won't be
ran
out
like
yet
hell.
for another
Those men were
100
raving
years.
lunatics, I tell
The
ya.
movie,
Not
sure,
even
but
able to speak
it's
anymore.
based on actual
Screaming.
events, especially the whole kicking Perseus into giant pits in the middle of, like, towns and shit. Why would you have a
heard of
bottomless
nurse
pit in the middle of your
called
town?
Dorothy Crane?
I don't know.
Nurse Crane.
It's weird.
So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Did you know she's really strong though, Nurse Crane? Legend says that if you accidentally take a cow upstairs, you usually need to call on her for help.
Yeah, it usually takes Nurse Crane to get it out.
Yep.
Yes. Those bloody immigrants should know their place, eh? How dare they do a better job than the lazy natives of this land?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Know why I hate immigrants?
Why do you hate immigrants?
Because there's a bunch of Scandinavian people who moved to Iceland that are taking all of the crow and seagull jobs from the original inhabitants of this nation. They just keep stealing their jobs, I guess. I mean, I self-identify as a seagull, so yeah.
He's talking about birds.
Yeah, because birds used to live here before people do, and not much else. Actually, I think Arctic foxes lived here too. I think they're actually the only native land mammal on Iceland.
Maybe mice too? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
How the hell did the foxes even get here? Oh, Arctic ice, yeah. Oh, a house. Let's go inside the house.
He just knocked. What is this, a non-video game?
And I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Does he live under the stairs?
Wait, Petersons?
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Did he kill his dad? No.
Harry Peterson, Joe Peterson. Oh!
And wait, these are all Petersons?
No, not that guy. That's Barrett Lewis.
Oh, okay. Who are those other guys, though? I feel like I recognize them. I mean, obviously I've talked to them before, but who are they?
That's the Shooty McGrudy guy, and that's the guy who almost got shot. Alright, you let me into your home, I'm gonna loot it.
Loot, 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 loot the poor.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
I like how he's just like not even questioning that you're taking a shit. It's just like, oh, I guess you're a guest. Please take all of our belongings.
I only want some of them.
Yeah, I know you're not taking linens and shit.
It's locked.
Do you always need a key for locked things? Do you never learn how to like?
Letter. Dear Mr. Peterson, it is my duty to inform you of our refusal to accept your application for a job at the dockyard. I must thank you for the time spent at our office explaining the difficulty of your situation. With your ill boy and the loss of your beloved wife, but it is also my duty to point out the policy of our company, which expressly reproves the employment of former criminals or convicts. Your unfortunate connections with the ill-famed Wet Boot Boys have been duly noted. These are hard times, sir, and Finch and Harper intend to reward first the candidates who pass the small inquiry we like to conduct about our future employees. You have my deepest sympathy, and may God be with you and your family. Sincerely, R.D. Harper.
Did he just tell him to go die, though? Said, may God be with you and your family. Like, did he mean in heaven? Is he hoping death on him?
Joe cannot find a legal job because of his criminal reputation. And his extortions have put Barrett Lewis in a tough financial situation. Well, let us find more about this man by talking to his son.
Your father may not like people entering the house, but how does he feel about people entering him? Is he a homobag?
May I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered.
What the fuck?
I'm joking, man, obviously. That would be the most asinine thing.
How do you feel?
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough, like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. But look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
Nicer than mine.
Really though? I don't think so. It's larger, but
it's large. It's got a fireplace. Mine doesn't have a fireplace.
But it doesn't have covered walls.
Many people here are not as lucky.
My walls are covered with
Exactly
paint.
what my father says.
Exactly.
Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so.
Okay.
I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
Got fatigue. So,
Yeah.
so very sick.
Medical help.
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything's
He's very-
so hard.
Very fatigued by
You'll feel
staying
better,
inside all
of course.
day.
But you need to get a
I
grip.
just think he's hella depressed and
Medication
agoraphobic,
alone
but
won't
okay.
cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
Anything? Nope, that's it.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
I mean, at least they're not soaked with Irish. So, I mean, that's
Pokemon
halfway
jokes.
through.
Don't be shy,
Also,
handsome.
prostitute.
What can Christina
Nice.
do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling, but I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may.
So you
I'm a
can't
doctor,
get her to bottle your
Dr.
dick.
Reed.
All right then, but be quick. Though
Let's
I
bottle the
usually
penis.
get paid
Okay.
when I open my mouth.
Nice pun.
Do you know
I like
Nurse
her.
Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Especially if they frequently get chlamydia.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I
Well,
don't
she
like
does
you
expose
asking
herself a lot.
questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
It would be their purse. No, I don't know.
Okay, so you'd willingly spread disease.
Tell me about
Are you
Papa
joking
Nurgle
with
would be
me?
proud.
People
Quite
don't
so.
usually come to see me for conversation.
it. I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I mean, it was her decision, but she should totally try to find another job. I
Yep.
don't think
I'm
condoms
sure you
were
could
like
have found
everywhere in
another
those
job,
times.
Perhaps less lucrative. Maybe you should try again.
And when exactly was the last time you looked for a job? Or worried about the rent, or what, or when you were going to eat?
Don't you mean who? Alright, I need more hints, but I'm like, getting
Don't
to the
eat
point.
her. She seems dope. I know there's a lot of ex people. We can find someone better to eat. Someone who's more of an ass.
I mean, yeah, Papa Nurgle would be proud, but Papa Nurgle doesn't exist in this universe, so we need XP.
Papa
I'm not
Nurgle
gonna eat
exists
it
in
yet.
all universes.
Like, I'm gonna find out more about her and if she's worthy of eating. I mean, we already found like 2 things out about this guy, and both of which are fucking horrifying.
Yeah, I mean 2 more to go and we'll get hella XP once we eat him.
Mm-hmm.
And only 4 more mesmerized levels, holy shit.
Yeah, that takes a while, because you get mesmerized levels by like just going through the story.
Goodbye,
Yeah.
miss.
Right, where did Joe go?
I have to say though, it's really tempting to just go full out murder everyone and just drink everyone for the XPs.
Yep, it really is. That's kind of the direction they were going for with this game too.
Hmm? Yeah, because it's like, I mean, it would, because it is a moral dilemma.
Oh,
Almost
it's
said
asking me to eat
Demella.
rats. Alright.
What'd you say?
I thought it was asking me
Can't
to like
believe I'm doing this.
look at the blood, but no, it was asking me to eat rats.
Well, yeah, they're delicious and nutritious. And may have the plague.
First.
In which case you gain poison damage on your bite.
Oh, this is always a fun like question I ask myself. Like
Can't believe
almost
I'm
every time
doing
I
this.
pick up Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Yeah.
Do vampires spread disease?
I would assume so.
There's dead inside. Just like me.
Well played. But I don't know, I think it depends on what type of vampire we're talking about. If we're talking about like supernatural vampires, it's hard to say. If we're talking about, actually it doesn't really depend much, because the lore usually like, in some lore they're like immune to all afflictions, in which case the bacteria and shit should probably just die unless they like bite someone who's exposed and then get their blood in the wound of someone else.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Like because like they eat blood
Yeah.
in copious amounts.
Yes.
So say the fantasies.
Mm.
But
Dude, you don't have to point out that vampires are fake. I think people know. I think the cat's out of the bag by
dude,
now.
we still have people that think the Earth is flat.
Yeah, but are they people though? I mean,
They do qualify as people, yes.
do they though?
Independent thinkers, no.
I'm like, if you're that completely asininely dumb, do you still qualify as the same species as everyone else, or are you your own thing?
No, you're still human. You're just a dumbass.
But like, isn't it kind of like how wolves and dogs can breed, but they're not the same? Do you know what I mean? I'm like they're borderline their
that's-
own thing.
Like that's more Neanderthals and humans.
And you're saying these people are like, I mean, physically they're more alike to us than Neanderthals, but like intellectually they're probably about the same level of off. Okay, I'm just done with this whole joke. I've backed
Yeah.
myself into a corner of stupidity.
Increase reloading time, I guess. I don't know. I don't really want more damage. I want more stun.
Yeah, stun is good. Because if we level the bite anyway, we get damage from the stun.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually from the bite after we do the stun, but whatever.
Alright. Here we go.
Yep, that's some illumin right there.
And useful stuff.
Ooh, opium, that's my favorite.
And we still don't have any potassium to permanganate.
Wait, what's your cure for fatigue? What does it contain?
Quinine, ferrous tartrate, and sodium hypochlorite.
I need to check up on those chemicals and what they would make, because I'm curious about what they're making.
You have a phone.
Yeah, but I don't feel like doing it right now. I feel like focusing and keeping my eye on the game.
Our audience demands it.
Okay. I mean, they did so throughout time and space. I could feel it in my body.
Mm-hmm. Alright, it was quinine, ferrous tartrate, and sodium hypochlorite.
Yep, I'll check it if I can navigate my phone without failing so badly. Quinine, ferrous target, and
Sodium hypochlorite.
sodium hypochlorite.
And if you want to read this, pause. That is a lot of blood.
I can't find, like, quickly what that would make, but yeah.
Alright.
I'm gonna have to search it better later.
Yeah, we'll do it in between episodes.
Yeah. Have the answer for you guys next time. It's not next time yet, but I'll have the answer next time. Oh, it was funny.
You did say with some flair.
I did, but sometimes I like to be fabulous.
Welcome to the disco. Yeah, I was actually waiting for that. He does that all the time.
I do.
Exact same fucking sounds.
Dude,
We're
otherwise it wouldn't sound like electronica.
There are other ways to
I
imitate
know.
electronica.
I'm kidding.
Here he is. It's
I'm
Joe.
I'm meaning the stereotype that all acts sounds the same.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off.
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane?
It's quite
She's a
presumptuous of
colleague
him.
mine and is supposed
Just
to
because
live
you're a
around.
doctor, you're only there to service him.
One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Quite reasonable for
A thug.
a thug.
Yeah.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are
Well,
too
he's a
afraid
small
of being
dude.
stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation.
Either
Would you
that
say
or
it's
I'm
justified?
just very large.
Totally. Look at me, for
Or
instance.
Jonathan.
I always look my opponent in the eye
It's
before
not me,
knocking
I'm my
him
own
out.
person. It's not me, I'm my own person.
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more.
Whoa.
I'll sod off.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
For the dirty work.
Nice.
I mean, I get it. I've been broke. It's shit. And
But
it
he
tempts you to
could
do
have
some dumb
refused,
things.
though.
It does tempt you to do some dumb shit, though.
I mean, yeah, understandably.
So,
But like, I don't know. I feel like there should be something along the line of helping him get a better position instead of having to be a thug, instead of just being like, oh, it's fine, or no, fuck you. And it needs some middle ground.
I mean, this is this is the middle ground.
I guess, but it's still kind of guilting him for something he...
Yeah, so I'm just gonna agree with him.
You survive at any cost, even at the expense of others.
I am a fucking vampire.
That's just the law of nature.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons. And that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Why keep working for a gang?
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. And people won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak. And there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else. Whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of...
I've been really lost in thought during this whole
No one will ever
conversation.
take
It's
my
like,
son away from me.
I've been listening
If
to
that
it.
ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
I know I gotta
Since
do
the
that again.
criminal nature...
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
you have bare hands?
That's dope
Sorry,
as
I
fuck.
had to.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine.
Oh wait, I already did
Would
that.
you please...
She's a nice...
A nice girl. She helps
Goodbye.
the sick and is dope and stuff.
So we did learn something more about him, but can we?
And we tell us Sonny's actually not that
Good
bad.
evening. May I come in?
Sure.
Sure,
You're
sure.
only pain and suffering in this world.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered.
What could be worse?
He seems so bothered though.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
You think Mr. Lewis is his real dad?
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with
That's a good question.
I guess we may find out next time.
In the next episode.
Goodbye, y'all!
High fives all around or something.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever.
Hats off and shit.